This is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, and I want to check my Achachairu fruit that's left on the tree. This is the first year we've had fruiting Achachairu tree, and so I, picked the first. We got 2 fruit off of it, so I picked the first one, and it had only been yellow for 2 weeks on the tree. It seems like the Garcinia madruno, the chirichuelo fruit, it was 3 weeks I had to leave it on the tree for them to sweeten up. We got 7 fruits off one of our many Garcinia madruno trees we have here this year, and hopefully next year we'll get more. But the Achacha, we have about, I don't know, a lot of trees, more than 100, various sizes, because I planted this whole place by myself, and I just try to do a little every day. So this fruit looks like it's turning a little bit more orange. So this has been on for 2 weeks. So next week will be 3 weeks. I just wonder if this tree is going to flower some more, or if it has flowered some more. Finding the flowers was quite a daunting task. I do not like vines growing on my fruit trees, so sorry, passion vine, but you need to move on. Oops. Oh well, I'll do a cutting of that. This tree is really big, and I see there's some people want plants that we have, but we're a biodynamic certified farm, and we grow fruit, we sell fruit, so we cutting this to make a graft for somebody would limit our fruit. And since we're still planting our place out, I just do cuttings because I like my trees to have their own roots. So we started doing cuttings of our fruiting Achacha in pure zebu manure, aged a year and soaked in biodynamic prep horn manure with it still in the horn. So the 500 inside the horn stills that's been soaking in a rain barrel for several months, and it doesn't break down, it just stays in there. The horn floats up and down and has stuff growing out of it at times, but so we soak it overnight in that and then crumble it up and do cuttings. And with all of nature, it seems like it's the hydrology. So the movement of water through your system, whether it be a black plastic pot or your Florida orchard that you're planting. I see where people have problems just by watching videos of people yards where it's just like you could tell that they've got lots of wood chips they've used in the past. It's mostly what you see, and fruit trees, and then a random piece of old lawn or something like that that's mowed, and then big huge areas of white. And then they talk about having to water. They have to water. Yeah, I'm sure you do. When you have like old wood chips that are degraded, and a little bit of stuff is growing through. A little bit of this stuff is growing through. It's probably really compacted and devoid of biology, because the sand is the mineral, the wood chips are the carbon, and the biology lives in living roots. So if you don't have the living root in the ground, you're not going to be able to grow a Nona tree without having to water it if you don't have a living system like this. It's just the wood chips prevent the water from moving through the soil, and it probably started out as lawn, so it's probably really compacted, so it was degraded white sand that you put wood chips over, and God knows what else you've added. Fertilizers in the holes that you plant the trees in, I don't know. But if you use wood chips alone and or fertilizers, you have to water. I'm talking synthetic fertilizers, I'm not talking compost and manures. This is like really healthy to me. This is where we had our vegetables last year, and it's just like sprung up. It's just doing really good. The trees are doing really good. Everything's alive. This is a juicy pearl that I started from seed and planted last year, and it's getting quite large, and hopefully I can fruit it at 2 years old, which is what I've heard you can do. This is what I like. I like the wild jungle look. Florida was perfect for me. I could make Florida in my vision of what Hawaii would look like in my mind. And we have, like, I don't know, I've planted more than 500 Annona trees. Every single one you could think of, I've planted it. And except for the small wild fruited ones, I'm just talking about the large fruited ones that you know of, like the Annona salzmanii, Annona Cheromoya cross, Atamoya, sweet sop, sour sop, all the alamas. And we have probably, I don't know, at least 200 trees. Biraba. And we don't water any of them. And you don't have to if you practice soil health. I have all of our seed grown achachas, which is the majority of our trees, I've never watered. They don't seem to mind not being watered at all. Nothing I don't believe needs to be watered. If you're buying nursery grown, chemically started plants that can't grow a rhizosheath because they were given synthetic fertilizers to begin with, you're not going to be able to plant that tree and not water it, probably, unless it's you've put it through a biological like boot camp. So start doing some EM2 or EM1 EM stuff on it, and some raw manures in the pot, and waiting like a week between applications, and then you might be able to do it. So these are our little achacha cuttings that I was trying to find how long they take to root, and the closest I can get for cuttings was like a month to 3 months for air layered for plants. So I'm gonna give it 6 weeks, but I can see a new leaf coming out right there. And this is the leaf that you see is new. So this is the juicy pearl star apple. It's made it too. And then all the other Garcinias have made it. And I talk about the mineral and the mineral, which is the sand, the carbon, which is the wood chips, and then the biological, which is the living roots. The biodiversity is the biological. The living roots, biological. It's the biological is the gateway to the carbon cycle. And plants are carbon pumps. The biologicals create the enzymes, which are the catalysts. To move water through your system. And the living roots repair the soil. If you had a mowed lawn and you put wood chips down over this, oh, that's just gonna be a compaction layer and devoid of nutrients and life. Most of that carbon will just get oxidized into the atmosphere. But if you add wood chips to this system and it starts raining, they'll degrade really quick and it'll accelerate growth on everything. Florida's really amazing. It's amazing you don't have to water any of these tropical fruit trees here. And it's really amazing you don't have to apply any fertilizers. Once your biology is established in your living cover. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about hydrology in a living system and the difference between the mineral, carbon, and biological in a biodynamic natural system, farm system. Say the Achacha it's looking close. Have a good day. It's Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. Biodynamic natural farming.